Hello everyone. So, the weather has finally given us a brief reprieve. This might not last, so I'm going to have to really go for it. So, we're going to go both test the furnace and see if it can really do. I have no doubts, but make sure that the one I got was a good one, and then test out this ingot mold that came with it. It's still sort of dirty. So, this is a sort of awkward shape, and determining how much copper you actually want to put in this can be a bit troublesome. Luckily, there is a relatively easy method. It's called fill the mold, take out what you don't want. So, you just take some paper, like so, mold on top. Open up your supply. As you can see, this particular, I got copper and it's in a very tight packed form, which is why I'm bothering. If it was in a looser format, I'd actually have to calculate weight and volume tables, but since this is so packed, I can just fill up the mold with how much copper we want. And I want a pretty full amount. Like that. Don't worry about some bits and pieces falling out of it. That's why the paper is here, so we can put it back in the bag afterward. Fill that to the brim. Now, that is pretty much to the top. Use a hard straight edge to scrape it. There we go. Now, that looks pretty full right there, right? Well, that actually might be a problem later on, because wonder of wonders, when metal and basically everything else heats up, it expands. So if you have something very full like this, when it comes out of the furnace, it might be a little bit too much, and you might have a little bit of a spillover. Now, if you just so happen to have an extra mold lying around or something else to do it, or don't mind a teensy bit of waste, you can just do this. But a good way to, especially if you have to have this size of mold to complete your project, but if you don't, you can just take out a couple of pinches here and there, maybe a third one. Yep, that's looking a lot more reasonable. Push that stuff back in, and you know what, a fourth pinch might not be out of place there. There you go. Now the mold is a lot less full, but I'm pretty confident that will not overflow and that I don't have to use an extra mold or waste thing to deal with this. Next step is pretty simple: clean up after yourself. Having the paper here makes it very easy to take that, scroll, and bam, done. Now clean, and why copper isn't the most expensive of the metals, it is very much a matter of, do you want to be spending that extra few bucks every there when you can have put a little bit of effort in and save some money. And as a cash-strapped person myself, I dearly treasure basically every cent. So we just into our container, and that's it. So always plan for contingency. Basically everyone who does casting on YouTube uses these muffin tins. I have a small one here for the small amount that possibly, most likely not, overflow with this. So, always be prepared. Don't want to hole burnt in your lawn because you were careless. So, next scene will be us actually starting this thing up.